In the previous example, we have seen that how we can perform insertion of records in entire architecture. So in the example, we are going to see that how we can update the record using the same architecture. I want that when I click on ID and I wanted the values, for that particular record, I wanted to update those other values. So if you see that we are using which procedure, so I'm using the procedure update m for this, in which I will pass the ID and I will pass other values also. I do not want to change the name, but other values I can change. So this is the make query which is actually updating the records. So I'm going to call this procedure from my application. So if I come to my application, I will go to the data access layer project first. So I'll click on this project and I will go to this class here. So this is the file in which I will add my methods now. So it is public int update emp, in which I will pass ID. I will take ID and I will take an object of employee also. So emp object. So I will declare a variable here, return value initially which is 0. So I will initialize the connection object. I'm using con object here now. So get connection using com object, and I will pass the method name, the procedure name here. So I will update enp, and the second parameter here will be connection object. Next, now we need to tell that this is a procedure, so I will use command type property here. So where I will mention that it serves to a procedure. Now we need to pass parameters. So we can say com.parameters add with value, and the value for ID will come from ID. Next is com.parameters add with value for name, it will come from emp object dot name. Name should not come because I do not want to change the name here. So I will take department here. The procedure doesn't have any name parameter, so it should be department. So next is com dot parameters add with value. Next is manager, and the value it will come from emp object dot manager. Next is com dot parameters add with value. Next is salary, and the value will come from emp object dot salary. Next parameter is experience, and value for this parameter it will come from emp object dot experience. Once it is done, now we need to it is experience, open the connection. So com dot open, and then I can say com dot execute non-query, and result I can store in this variable which is return value. And this value I can return from here. Is a return value. Okay, now this method I need to call from the business access layer. So I will come here now and I will add that method here. So public int update emp, in which I will pass ID, and I will also pass object of employee. And I will call the method of data access layer from here. So return data access layer object dot update emp, in which I will pass ID and I will also pass this object. Now this method is being called from here. Now if I go to my main application and I click on this update, I should be calling that method from here. And and for that again I will be using try and catch block to handle the exceptions, and I will declare object of exception class here, and then I will display if some problem is there. So message box dot show exe obj dot message, and here I can just take all the values from my main form. So we can say that int id is equal to, so value will come from convert dot index 16 txt int id dot text, and then I will declare object of employee here. So already it is there, so you can directly use it here. So id value will come from this id employee name. Name again I do not want, because I do not want to change the name, and the value will come from txt department dot text emp object dot manager, and value will come from manager dot text emp dot salary, and value should come from txt salary, but I need to convert it to integer, so it should be text salary dot text. Next is emp object dot experience, convert the value of text txt experience dot text to integer. Once it is done, now I can call the method. So I will declare a variable here. So int return value, and this variable I will use here now. So it is equal to business access layer object dot update emp. I will pass from here id, and I will also pass from here this object, and then I can use value here. I can say if return value is more than 0, it means record is updated. So we can say here now message box dot show record updated. Else we can say record not updated. Now if we run this application, we should be able to update the records. So click on debug to start debugging of the application. If I enter ID 109, I enter the salary here. So if I enter, I want to change the record for Ajay. So 109, I wanted the salary should be changed to 21,000. Manager name to Sagar. Department to HR, and suppose experience to 3 years, and click on update. The record is updated. And if you wanted that the record should be updated here also, means data should be refreshed, so I should call that method, I should bind the grid view, data grid here. So we can say here now, so that thing I can say here. So if you wanted to bind the data grid with the refreshed data, I can do it here. I can say dg emplace dot item source is equal to business access layer object dot get enps dot default view. We should not use any brackets here. So if we run this application now, so we should be able to get the refreshed data also in the data grid. I want to change the record, suppose for 106, I want to change the salary to 30,000, manager to, I want to keep it same, Kavita, department to HR, and the experience now to 3 years, and click on update. So we can see that it is refreshed here also. So in this example, we have seen that how we can update the records in Enter architecture in our application. In the next example, we will see the other operations like deletion and searching of the records. So if we just revise all these steps, we can see that this is the project data access layer in which there was a file and there is a class. I've added a method here, update imp, in which I'm passing ID and the object. And these are the steps that are being used to access the database. And this method update imp I'm calling from business access layer from here. And this method is being called and it is returning from here the integer value. So this method we are now calling from the main application on the update button event handler. So I'm calling this method from here, and whatever value is coming, that value we are using to print a message here. So we have divided our application into different layers now. So we have 4 projects here: business access layer, business entity layer, data access layer, and our main application is there. And what is the advantage? Advantage is that maintaining these different projects is easier. So the separation of concerns is there. So it is maintenance is easier. The projects are more reliable. Your application is more reliable now. So if any of the part or component is not working, the other application can still continue to work. So there is the independency also now when we are using this architecture. Same approach we will be seeing in the other operations, in deletion, searching of the records, and other operations. So in the next session we will see that how we can do the other operations like deletion and searching of the records in Enter architecture.